Imagine having the chance to sit down with the devil himself, peeling back the layers of fear, doubt, and negative habits that prevent you from living your best life. That's exactly what Napoleon Hill envisioned in his provocative book, Outwitting the Devil. Written in 1938 but published much later, the book offers a powerful dialogue between Hill and the devil, in which Hill attempts to expose the devil's most cunning tactics used to keep people from achieving success. Through this conversation, we learn how fear, indecision, and lack of purpose can become the biggest obstacles in our lives. Stay with us until the end as we explore practical insights from this eye-opening book and uncover how you can break free from the invisible forces that hold you back. You'll discover actionable strategies to confront your inner demons, sharpen your focus, and take control of your destiny. Napoleon Hill is often associated with his most famous work, Think and Grow Rich, which is widely considered one of the most influential books on success and personal development. But Outwitting the Devil is a very different kind of book. Written in 1938, during a time when Hill himself was going through significant personal struggles, the book remained unpublished for over 70 years due to its controversial nature. Hill's family, and even his publisher, were hesitant to release it to the public, fearing backlash because of the bold, religiously provocative themes. So why was the book so controversial? In Outwitting the Devil, Hill presents an imaginary conversation with the devil, in which the devil reveals his methods for controlling the minds of people and preventing them from achieving their full potential. This interview is not just a creative literary tool, it's a deep metaphor for the mental and emotional forces that hold us back in life. The devil symbolizes fear, self-doubt, procrastination, and all the other negative habits and beliefs that keep us stuck. Hill's conversation with this personification of evil is intended to expose these forces and show us how to overcome them. At the heart of the book is Hill's belief that the majority of people live their lives without purpose, allowing external forces, represented by the devil, to control their destiny. Hill argues that people drift through life without clear goals or direction, and it's this drifting that gives the devil power over them. Without a definite purpose or strong personal discipline, people are easily manipulated by fear, distractions, and negative influences. Hill experienced this firsthand. After the success of Think and Grow Rich, he faced several personal setbacks, including financial troubles and a deep sense of confusion about his own life's direction. This internal struggle led him to write Outwitting the Devil as a way of confronting these invisible barriers. Why is this book still relevant today? Even though it was written in 1938, the themes Hill touches upon, fear, indecision, lack of discipline, and drifting through life, are just as relevant now as they were then. In fact, you could argue that in today's fast-paced, highly distracted world, these issues are even more prevalent. How many people today feel like they're simply going through the motions, caught in a cycle of fear and procrastination, unsure of what they really want from life? Outwitting the Devil speaks directly to these challenges and provides a blueprint for taking control of your own mind and life. Hill's personal journey adds a layer of authenticity to the book. He wasn't just theorizing about success. He had lived through failure, self-doubt, and moments of intense uncertainty. This makes his conversation with the devil feel not only symbolic, but also deeply personal, as if Hill is battling his own demons on the page while inviting us to do the same in our own lives. In this way, the book is more than just a self-help guide. It's an invitation to take a hard look at the fears, habits, and mindsets that may be holding you back, and to learn how to reclaim control over your own destiny. Now let's dive into one of the most critical ideas in Outwitting the Devil, the concept of drifting. This isn't just a metaphor Hill uses to describe people who lack direction. It's the central mechanism by which the devil controls most of humanity. According to the devil, drifting means going through life without any real purpose, intention, or focus. People who drift allow external circumstances, societal pressures, and their own fears to dictate their choices rather than consciously deciding what they want and taking action toward those goals. Hill, through his conversation with the devil, argues that the vast majority of people are drifters. They go through life on autopilot, reacting to whatever comes their way rather than taking control of their destiny. The devil says it clearly: I can control any mind that is drifting. This is a chilling thought because it suggests that as long as you don't have a clear sense of purpose, you're vulnerable to external manipulation, whether that's through fear, distraction, or even laziness. The devil explains that drifters are easy to control because they lack discipline and clarity. They wake up each day without a clear goal in mind and are often pulled in different directions by their environment, habits, or other people's expectations. Instead of proactively shaping their lives, they are passively influenced by whatever is happening around them. It's this lack of personal responsibility that gives the devil his power. Think about it for a moment. How many times have you caught yourself drifting? Maybe you've spent days, weeks, or even months without making any real progress toward your goals because you didn't have a specific plan. Perhaps you've been easily distracted by social media, television, or other forms of entertainment, allowing these external forces to control your time and energy. Hill's message here is a wake-up call. If you're not actively driving your life in a purposeful direction, then you're likely drifting, and in doing so, you're giving up control. Drifting in today's world. While Hill wrote this in the 1930s, the concept of drifting is even more relevant in today's world. We live in a time when distractions are endless. Social media, streaming platforms, and the constant barrage of news and entertainment are designed to capture our attention and keep us passively engaged. In many ways, these modern distractions are like the devil's tools, luring us into a state of drifting where we mindlessly consume instead of creating or pursuing meaningful goals. Drifting can also take the form of procrastination. How often do we put off important tasks, convincing ourselves we'll get to them tomorrow? The truth is, drifting isn't just about wasting time. It's about the slow erosion of our potential. Each day spent drifting is a day where we fail to take meaningful steps toward the life we truly want to live, personal responsibility, and purpose. So, how do we stop drifting? Hill's answer is simple but powerful. The antidote to drifting is having a definite major purpose. A person who has a clear goal in life, a purpose they are passionately working toward, is almost impossible for the devil to control. When you know what you want and are determined to achieve it, distractions lose their power, and fear can no longer paralyze you. You become proactive, setting your own course instead of being pulled in 1,000 different directions. In the book, Hill stresses the importance of not just having a vague sense of what you want, but being specific. A definite major purpose gives you focus, a clear direction, and the ability to make decisions based on what will move you closer to that goal. Without this, it's easy to fall into the trap of drifting, letting life happen to you instead of making things happen. The devil admits that once someone has a definite purpose, they're much harder to manipulate. This is why Hill encourages readers to find their passion, set clear goals, and commit to a path of self-discipline. When you do this, you're no longer susceptible to the external forces that lead to drifting. Drifting is one of the most dangerous habits because it happens subtly over time. It's not always obvious when we're drifting, but the effects can be devastating. The only way to protect yourself from the forces that seek to control you, whether it's fear, doubt, or distraction, is to have a clear purpose and take responsibility for your life. When you know where you're going, you stop drifting and start driving your life toward the success you desire. The power of definite purpose. Napoleon Hill firmly believed that the most important weapon you can have in your fight against drifting is a definite major purpose. If drifting is like being lost at sea without a sense of direction, then having a definite purpose is like having a compass. It gives you a clear sense of where you're going and what you need to do to get there. This concept is central to Outwitting the Devil, as Hill sees it as the most effective way to resist the devil's influence and take control of your life. In his conversation with the devil, Hill presses him on what makes people easy to manipulate. The devil confesses that individuals who lack purpose are the easiest to control because they are aimless. They allow their environment, fears, or other people's opinions to dictate their actions. On the other hand, those who have a clear purpose are much harder for the devil to influence because they know what they want, and they're actively working toward it. Why purpose is powerful. Hill's argument here is profound. Having a definite purpose in life doesn't just make you more productive or motivated, it protects you from the negative forces that pull you away from success. The devil himself admits that people who have a definite purpose are almost impossible to control because they're focused, disciplined, and determined. When you know exactly what you want and why you want it, the distractions that once seemed overwhelming lose their grip on you. Fear becomes less paralyzing because you're more committed to achieving your goals than you are afraid of failure. Let's think about this in real-life terms. Have you ever noticed how much easier it is to stay motivated and energized when you're working toward a goal you're passionate about? Whether it's a career ambition, a personal project, or even a fitness target, having something specific to aim for gives you a sense of direction. You wake up with a purpose, and your actions are aligned with that purpose. This is the exact opposite of drifting, where you go through life passively, with no clear goal in sight. Hill's message is that everyone needs a definite purpose to avoid falling into the trap of drifting. But it's not just about setting a vague goal or having a wishful dream. Hill emphasizes that your purpose needs to be clear and specific. It's not enough to say, "I want to be successful," or "I want to be happy." You need to know exactly what success means to you and what steps you need to take to achieve it. How to find your definite purpose. One of the most valuable insights Hill offers in the book is his method for finding your definite purpose. He suggests asking yourself key questions like, what do I want most out of life? What am I truly passionate about? What are my natural talents and strengths? How can I contribute to the world in a meaningful way? These questions are designed to help you dig deeper into your motivations and desires so that you can discover a purpose that genuinely inspires you. It's not just about setting a goal for the sake of having a goal. It's about identifying something that aligns with your core values and passions. Hill believes that once you've found your definite purpose, everything else becomes easier. Decisions that used to feel difficult become clearer because you can measure them against your purpose. If something doesn't align with your ultimate goal, it's easier to say no to it. If an opportunity moves you closer to your purpose, you pursue it with enthusiasm. Purpose as a shield against fear. Fear is one of the biggest obstacles the devil uses to keep people from success. But Hill argues that having a definite purpose helps you overcome fear because it gives you something bigger to focus on. When you're committed to achieving your goal, the fear of failure becomes secondary to your desire for success. The devil even admits that fear loses its power over those who have a clear purpose. This doesn't mean that fear disappears entirely. It's natural to feel fear when you're stepping out of your comfort zone. But when you have a definite purpose, you're more willing to face that fear because the reward of achieving your goal is so much greater than the temporary discomfort of fear. Definite purpose in action. To bring this concept to life, Hill shares examples of individuals who have harnessed the power of purpose to achieve great things. These people didn't drift through life waiting for success to come to them. Instead, they set clear goals and took deliberate actions to reach them. Consider someone like Thomas Edison. Edison didn't just say, "I want to invent something cool." He had a definite purpose to create practical solutions that would change the world. His purpose drove him to work tirelessly, even in the face of failure after failure. But because he was so focused on his purpose, he didn't let setbacks stop him. He saw each failure as a step closer to success. Hill's point is clear. When you have a definite purpose, setbacks and challenges are easier to overcome because you're always moving in a specific direction. You're less likely to be discouraged by temporary failures because your eyes are on the bigger picture. Without a definite purpose, you are vulnerable to drifting and external manipulation. But with a clear, specific purpose, you become focused, disciplined, and unstoppable. Purpose not only gives you direction, but it also shields you from fear and doubt, helping you stay on course even when the path gets difficult. Fear as the devil's tool. Fear is perhaps one of the most powerful tools that the devil uses to keep people from achieving their goals, according to Hill's conversation in Outwitting the Devil. The devil admits that fear is his most effective weapon for controlling people's minds. It doesn't matter whether the fear is rational or irrational. Once fear takes hold, it can paralyze you, keeping you from taking the necessary steps toward success. Fear stops you before you even start, creating mental barriers that seem insurmountable. The devil reveals 6 primary fears that trap people in mediocrity. 1. Fear of poverty. 2. Fear of criticism. 3. Fear of ill health. 4. Fear of loss of love. 5. Fear of old age. 6. Fear of death. Let's break down these fears to understand how they operate and how they hold us back. 1. Fear of poverty. The fear of poverty is the root of much anxiety in life. It causes people to settle for jobs they don't enjoy, relationships that drain them, and lifestyles that feel unfulfilling, all because they are afraid of losing financial security. This fear can prevent people from pursuing their true passions because they believe that taking risks could lead to financial ruin. The devil uses this fear to keep people stuck in situations where they are surviving but not thriving. 2. Fear of criticism. Many of us are afraid of what other people will think of us if we fail or if we stand out from the crowd. This fear of criticism keeps people from pursuing bold dreams or ideas, from speaking up, or from taking on challenges that could result in judgment from others. The devil feeds on this insecurity, encouraging people to conform and play it safe rather than stepping into their full potential. 3. Fear of ill health. Fear of getting sick or suffering from ill health can lead people to obsess over their physical condition, sometimes to the point of inaction. Instead of living a full and healthy life, some people may become paralyzed by their worries about health issues that might never happen. The devil uses this fear to distract people from focusing on their goals. 4. Fear of loss of love. The fear of losing someone's love or approval can be a powerful motivator, often leading people to make compromises that are not in their best interest. This fear can prevent you from making difficult decisions that could improve your life for fear that you'll upset or lose the people around you. The devil exploits this fear by keeping people in toxic relationships or situations where they feel unfulfilled, all because they are afraid of losing love. 5. Fear of old age. Many people dread growing old, worrying about losing their vitality, relevance, or sense of purpose. The fear of old age can cause people to feel as though they are running out of time, leading to anxiety and regret. The devil uses this fear to keep people stuck in the past, focused on the idea that their best years are behind them rather than seeing aging as an opportunity for wisdom and growth. 6. Fear of death. Fear of death is universal. It can manifest as a fear of the unknown or a fear of not having lived a meaningful life. This fear can lead to procrastination and hesitation as people delay pursuing their dreams because they are too afraid of the finality of death. The devil uses this fear to make people focus on the end of life rather than embracing the present and making the most of their time. How fear controls you. Hill's dialogue with the devil exposes how these fears work together to control individuals. Fear is paralyzing. It prevents action. The devil admits that when people are consumed by fear, they are easy to control because they are too afraid to move forward, take risks, or pursue their dreams. Think about how often fear has kept you from taking action. Have you hesitated to start a new project because you were afraid of failing? Have you avoided making a difficult decision because you were worried about what others would think? The devil's tactic is simple but effective. He magnifies these fears to the point where they overshadow everything else. When fear dominates your thoughts, it's impossible to focus on your goals. You start to second-guess yourself, procrastinate, and avoid taking the very steps that could lead to success. Fear convinces you that staying in your comfort zone is safer, even when that comfort zone is making you miserable. Overcoming fear. Hill doesn't just expose the power of fear, he also provides a solution. The antidote to fear is action and purpose. Once you have a definite purpose, as discussed earlier, you become more willing to confront your fears because your desire for success outweighs the fear of failure. When you know exactly what you want in life, fear starts to lose its grip on you. You're more willing to take risks because you have a clear goal in mind. For example, if you're afraid of poverty, one way to overcome that fear is to focus on creating financial security through hard work and smart decisions. If you're afraid of criticism, you can remind yourself that other people's opinions don't define your worth. The key is to confront each fear with purposeful action rather than allowing it to dictate your decisions. In Outwitting the Devil, Hill emphasizes the importance of acknowledging your fears, but not letting them control you. Everyone feels fear at some point. It's a natural part of being human. But the difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck is how they respond to that fear. Do they allow it to paralyze them, or do they move forward despite it? Fear is the devil's most powerful tool for keeping people from achieving their full potential. But once you recognize fear for what it is, a tool of control, you can begin to take action to overcome it. The best way to combat fear is through purposeful action. When you have a definite purpose and are committed to achieving it, fear loses its power over you. The importance of self-discipline. One of the most profound lessons in Outwitting the Devil is the critical importance of self-discipline. According to the Devil in Hill's imagined conversation, self-discipline is one of the few things that make a person immune to his influence. Without self-discipline, we become susceptible to all of the devil's tricks: fear, procrastination, and drifting. The more disciplined we are, the harder it becomes for external forces to steer us off course. The devil describes self-discipline as the ability to control your thoughts, habits, and actions. People who lack self-discipline are reactive. They allow their impulses, emotions, and immediate desires to dictate their behavior. These individuals are easy for the devil to manipulate because they are constantly chasing short-term pleasures or distractions. They live in the moment without considering the long-term consequences of their actions. How lack of discipline leads to failure. Hill and the Devil explore how the lack of discipline is a root cause of many failures in life. People without self-discipline tend to procrastinate. They put off important tasks because they can't push through the discomfort or resistance of starting something difficult. Get easily distracted. Without discipline, they fall prey to distractions, whether it's social media, entertainment, or any other short-term gratification that keeps them from focusing on what really matters. Make poor decisions. People without self-discipline are more likely to make impulsive decisions that feel good in the moment but are harmful in the long run. Whether it's overspending, unhealthy eating, or skipping responsibilities, the inability to control one's actions can lead to a life full of regret. Think about how often the lack of self-discipline causes people to fail in their personal or professional lives. We all know someone, or have been that person ourselves, who has big dreams but never follows through because they lack the discipline to do the hard work consistently. The devil knows this and uses it to his advantage. A person without self-discipline is easy to lead astray because they are constantly reacting to external forces instead of making conscious, deliberate choices. Discipline as a path to freedom. While discipline might sound like a restriction, Hill argues that true freedom comes from having self-discipline. When you have control over your mind and actions, you're free from the chaos and distractions that usually pull you away from your goals. You're able to make decisions that align with your long-term vision, instead of being swayed by temporary emotions or circumstances. Discipline gives you the power to focus on what matters most and ignore the noise around you. It helps you build habits that lead to success while also protecting you from the devil's influence. Hill makes it clear that self-discipline is not about depriving yourself of pleasure, but rather about choosing the kind of life you want to live and having the control to make decisions that support that life. For example, let's consider someone who wants to get in shape. Without self-discipline, it's easy to skip workouts, eat unhealthy foods, and fall into a cycle of excuses. But with self-discipline, this person is able to push through the discomfort of working out regularly and make healthier choices, even when it's hard. Over time, that discipline leads to better health, more confidence, and a greater sense of accomplishment, far more rewarding than the momentary pleasure of skipping the gym or eating junk food. Developing self-discipline. Hill doesn't just emphasize the importance of self-discipline, he also offers practical advice on how to develop it. Here are a few strategies inspired by the book. 1. Start small. Discipline, like any muscle, needs to be built gradually. If you try to overhaul your life all at once, you're likely to burn out. Instead, focus on small, manageable goals that you can achieve consistently. For example, if you're trying to develop a habit of waking up earlier, start by setting your alarm 10 minutes earlier each day. rather than trying to wake up 2 hours earlier from the start. 2. Be consistent. The key to building discipline is consistency. It's not about doing something perfectly every time, but about showing up and doing the work day after day. Over time, the habits you build will become second nature. Even when motivation fades, discipline will carry you through. 3. Delay gratification. One of the most powerful aspects of self-discipline is the ability to delay gratification. This means choosing long-term rewards over short-term pleasure. In every moment, ask yourself, does this action align with my long-term goals, or is it just a distraction? The more you practice delaying gratification, the easier it becomes to stay focused on what truly matters. 4. Hold yourself accountable. Whether it's through a friend, mentor, or journal, accountability is essential for building self-discipline. It helps to have someone or something to check in with, to track your progress, and to keep you honest about your actions. This keeps you focused and reminds you of the goals you've set for yourself. Self-discipline and mental mastery. The conversation in Outwitting the Devil highlights that true discipline begins in the mind. It's about controlling your thoughts before they turn into actions. If you can master your thoughts, you can master your life. The devil mentions that undisciplined minds are easy prey because they allow negative thoughts like fear, doubt, and procrastination to run unchecked. These thoughts then lead to negative habits, which eventually lead to failure. On the other hand, disciplined individuals train their minds to focus on positive, productive thoughts. They don't allow fear or doubt to dominate their thinking. Instead, they replace those thoughts with a clear vision of their goals and the belief that they can achieve them. This mental discipline translates into disciplined actions, and those actions lead to success. Self-discipline is the foundation of all success. Without it, you're easily swayed by distractions, impulses, and fears. With it, you gain the power to take control of your life, make deliberate choices, and pursue your goals with focus and consistency. Hill's message is clear. Discipline isn't just a tool for success. It's your defense against the devil's influence and the key to living a life of purpose and freedom. The role of failure and persistence. One of the most insightful and encouraging themes in Outwitting the Devil is how Hill addresses the concept of failure. In his conversation with the devil, Hill learns that failure is one of the devil's most effective weapons. Failure discourages people, makes them give up on their goals, and reinforces a sense of self-doubt. However, Hill flips this narrative by showing that failure is not the end. It's actually a stepping stone to success, as long as you are persistent. The devil admits that most people are so afraid of failure that they never even try to achieve greatness. And those who do try often give up after experiencing a setback. In Hill's view, the real issue isn't the failure itself. It's the way we respond to it. If we allow failure to crush our spirits, we fall right into the devil's trap. But if we learn from failure and keep moving forward, we become stronger and more resilient. Failure as a tool for growth. Hill makes a powerful point. Failure is an essential part of growth. It's through failure that we learn what doesn't work, refine our strategies, and build the resilience needed to overcome challenges. Every successful person has encountered failure, often multiple times. The difference is that they didn't let failure define them. Instead, they used it as feedback, valuable information that helped them make better decisions and try again with more knowledge and experience. Let's take Thomas Edison as an example. Edison is famous for inventing the light bulb, but what many people forget is that he failed thousands of times before he got it right. When asked about these failures, Edison famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." This mindset, seeing failure as a learning opportunity, is exactly what Hill encourages in Outwitting the Devil. The devil can't control someone who sees failure as part of the process of success. When you adopt this mindset, failure loses its power over you. The Devil's Strategy. According to Hill's interview with the devil, one of the devil's primary tactics is to use failure to destroy a person's confidence. When you fail, the devil whispers thoughts of self-doubt, fear, and defeat. The devil encourages you to think that you're not good enough, that your dreams are unrealistic, or that you should just give up. This is when many people start to drift. They abandon their goals because they believe the lie that failure means they aren't capable. But Hill argues that this is exactly when persistence becomes your greatest ally. The people who ultimately succeed in life are not the ones who never fail, but the ones who refuse to give up when they do. Every time you get back up after a failure, you're proving the devil wrong and building mental strength. Persistence as the key to success. Hill emphasizes that persistence is the antidote to failure. Persistence is the ability to keep going, even when things get tough, even when you face setbacks, and even when success seems far off. The devil admits that he cannot control people who are persistent because they are not easily discouraged. They understand that success takes time and effort, and they are willing to pay that price. In the book, Hill encourages readers to cultivate persistence by staying focused on their definite purpose and refusing to give up, no matter how many obstacles they face. Persistence doesn't mean blindly pushing forward without learning. It means adapting, improving, and continuing to move toward your goal, even when the road gets difficult. Think about the greatest achievements in your own life. Chances are they didn't come easily. You likely faced challenges, doubts, and maybe even failures along the way. But because you kept going, you eventually succeeded. That's the power of persistence. The people who stop at the first sign of failure never get to experience the satisfaction of overcoming challenges and reaching their goals. But those who persist, even in the face of repeated failure, ultimately achieve their dreams. Learning from failure. One of the key insights Hill provides is that failure is only a true failure if you don't learn from it. Each failure gives you an opportunity to analyze what went wrong, make adjustments, and try again with a smarter approach. It's important to see failure not as a final verdict, but as part of the journey to success. When you shift your perspective and start viewing failure as feedback, you take away the devil's power to use it against you. Instead of being discouraged by failure, you become motivated to try again, knowing that each attempt brings you one step closer to success. The power of adaptation. Hill also points out that persistence doesn't mean stubbornly repeating the same mistakes. True persistence involves adapting to circumstances, learning from past failures, and adjusting your strategies. The people who succeed are those who are flexible enough to change their approach when necessary, while staying committed to their overall goal. For example, if a business venture fails, persistence doesn't mean sinking more money into the same failed strategy. It means analyzing what went wrong, learning from the failure, and coming up with a new plan that addresses the mistakes of the past. This ability to adapt and grow is what separates successful people from those who give up. The devil's defeat through persistence. The devil admits that persistent people are his biggest challenge. He cannot easily sway someone who keeps getting up after every fall. A person who is committed to their purpose and willing to endure setbacks is someone the devil cannot control. Persistence, therefore, is one of the most powerful tools you can use to outwit the devil. It gives you the strength to keep going, no matter how many times you fail, and to learn from those failures so that you eventually succeed. Failure is inevitable, but it doesn't have to be final. The way you respond to failure determines whether you fall under the devil's control or rise above it. Persistence is the key to outwitting the devil. By refusing to give up and learning from your failures, you become unstoppable. Every failure is an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Mastering your mindset. In Outwitting the Devil, Napoleon Hill drives home the idea that the greatest battle we face is the one within our own minds. The conversation between Hill and the devil reveals that the mind is the devil's primary battleground. According to the devil, those who fail to control their own minds are easy prey, while those who master their mindset are almost impossible to manipulate. The devil openly admits that he thrives on mental confusion, indecision, and lack of control. This is because when people are not in control of their thoughts, they become reactive, easily influenced by external forces, and more likely to drift through life. A person who does not control their mind is constantly at the mercy of fear, doubt, and external circumstances. They react instead of act, and this makes them vulnerable to the devil's tricks. The power of thought. Hill makes it clear that thoughts are incredibly powerful. What you think shapes how you feel, how you act, and ultimately, what you achieve in life. If you allow negative, fearful, or self-defeating thoughts to dominate your mind, you will struggle to achieve success. These thoughts become self-fulfilling prophecies, leading to more fear, doubt, and failure. The devil explains that controlling a person's mind begins with planting seeds of doubt, fear, and indecision. Once these negative thoughts take root, they grow stronger and stronger, leading the person further away from their goals and into a life of drifting. However, when someone masters their mind, when they take control of their thoughts and focus on positive, constructive ideas, the devil loses his grip, taking control of your thoughts. Mastering your mindset is about being aware of your thoughts and choosing what to focus on. It's easy to let negative thoughts run rampant, especially when things aren't going well. But Hill emphasizes the importance of consciously directing your thoughts toward your goals, positive outcomes, and the actions you need to take to achieve success. This isn't just about thinking positively in a shallow, surface-level way. Hill is talking about deep mental discipline, the ability to control your inner dialogue and maintain a strong, focused mindset even when things get tough. This means that instead of letting fear or doubt dominate your thoughts, you consciously choose to focus on your strengths, your purpose, and your vision for success. The devil's influence on mindset. The devil's primary tactic is to influence your thoughts without you even realizing it. He uses subtle, often unconscious, methods to introduce negative beliefs and thoughts into your mind. For example, when you're facing a difficult challenge, the devil might whisper thoughts like, "You're not good enough," or "This is too hard, you should just give up." If you're not in control of your mindset, these thoughts can easily take root, causing you to doubt yourself and stop taking action. But Hill emphasizes that these thoughts only have power over you if you allow them to. The key to mastering your mindset is recognizing these negative thoughts for what they are, distractions and lies, and replacing them with thoughts that align with your goals and your true potential. The role of belief. Belief plays a crucial role in mastering your mindset. Hill makes it clear that what you believe about yourself and your abilities has a profound impact on what you can achieve. If you believe you are capable, you'll act with confidence and persistence, even when things get tough. But if you believe you are destined to fail, you'll hesitate, procrastinate, and ultimately, you'll drift. One of the devil's most effective strategies is to weaken your belief in yourself. He does this by amplifying your fears and doubts, causing you to question your worth, your abilities, and your chances of success. But once you understand that these negative thoughts are not truths, but simply the devil's way of controlling you, you can start to break free. Hill suggests that building a strong belief in yourself is like building a mental fortress. You need to protect your mind from negative influences and reinforce your belief in your own potential. This means surrounding yourself with positive influences, constantly reminding yourself of your strengths, and focusing on what you want to achieve rather than on what could go wrong. Mental discipline. Hill and the devil agree on one thing. Mental discipline is critical for success. The devil admits that people who are mentally disciplined, who can control their thoughts and emotions, are nearly impossible to manipulate. Mental discipline allows you to stay focused on your goals, even when faced with challenges or setbacks. Think of mental discipline as a muscle that needs to be exercised regularly. Every time you choose to focus on positive, productive thoughts instead of letting negative ones take over, you're strengthening that muscle. Over time, this discipline becomes second nature. You learn to quickly recognize when negative thoughts are creeping in, and you become skilled at redirecting your focus towards something more constructive. Hill offers practical ways to build this mental discipline. One of the most important is to develop a routine of self-reflection. By regularly checking in with yourself, you can assess whether your thoughts are aligned with your goals or whether they are being influenced by fear, doubt, or other negative forces. This practice of mindfulness helps you stay in control of your mindset rather than letting your mind control you. Mindset as the foundation for success. Ultimately, Hill's message is that your mindset is the foundation upon which all success is built. If you do not control your mind, nothing else matters. You can have the best plans, the greatest opportunities, and the most supportive environment. But if your mind is filled with doubt and negativity, you will struggle to succeed. On the flip side, if you master your mindset, you become unstoppable. You can face challenges with confidence, learn from failures without being discouraged, and stay focused on your long-term goals despite distractions and obstacles. Mastering your mindset is the most important step in achieving success. The devil's greatest weapon is his ability to influence your thoughts. But once you take control of your mind and practice mental discipline, you become immune to his tactics. By focusing on positive, goal-oriented thoughts and maintaining a strong belief in your abilities, you can overcome any obstacle and achieve your full potential. The influence of environment. In Outwitting the Devil, Hill doesn't just focus on internal factors like fear and discipline. He also highlights the significant role that our environment plays in shaping our thoughts, behaviors, and ultimately, our success. The devil reveals that one of his key strategies for controlling people is by manipulating the environment they live in. Whether it's the people you spend time with, the media you consume, or the physical spaces you inhabit, your surroundings have a powerful impact on your mindset and actions. The devil confesses that he uses the environment to subtly influence people without them even realizing it. By surrounding individuals with negative influences, whether that's through toxic relationships, constant distractions, or a lack of positive role models, the devil can guide them toward drifting, making them easier to control. This is why Hill places such a strong emphasis on being intentional about your environment. To outwit the devil, you must take control of your surroundings and make sure they support your goals and purpose. The power of negative influences. One of the most dangerous aspects of the environment is that it often influences us without our conscious awareness. Hill and the devil discuss how the company we keep, the media we consume, and even the general atmosphere around us can subtly shape our thoughts and behaviors. The devil admits that he uses this to his advantage, placing people in environments where negativity, fear, and doubt are the norm. Over time, these negative influences can seep into a person's mindset, making them feel more discouraged, unmotivated, and less confident in their ability to succeed. For instance, if you're constantly surrounded by people who are pessimistic, who complain about life, or who don't believe in self-improvement, their attitudes can begin to rub off on you. Even if you're a positive person, spending time in a negative environment can make it harder to stay focused on your goals. Similarly, consuming media that emphasizes fear, conflict, or superficial success can lead to distraction and anxiety, pulling you away from your definite purpose. Hill points out that many people don't even realize how much their environment is influencing them. They might feel stuck or unmotivated, but they don't recognize that part of the problem is the negative energy and influences they are constantly exposed to. The role of relationships. One of the most powerful aspects of our environment is the people we surround ourselves with. In Outwitting the Devil, Hill discusses how the devil manipulates individuals through their relationships. The devil reveals that toxic or unsupportive relationships are one of the easiest ways to keep people from achieving success. If you're surrounded by people who don't believe in your dreams, who constantly criticize or undermine you, or who are negative about life in general, it becomes much harder to stay motivated and focused. Hill emphasizes the importance of surrounding yourself with positive, supportive people, individuals who lift you up, encourage your growth, and believe in your potential. These are the people who challenge you to be better, who hold you accountable to your goals, and who inspire you to keep going when times get tough. The devil admits that when a person's environment is filled with such individuals, it's much harder for him to gain control over them. This is because positive relationships help build resilience, self-confidence, and a sense of purpose. However, Hill also warns that cutting ties with toxic or negative influences can be difficult, especially if those relationships have been in your life for a long time. But if you want to succeed, you need to be intentional about the people you allow into your inner circle. The people closest to you have the most significant impact on your mindset, so choose wisely. Media and cultural influences. In addition to personal relationships, the devil reveals that he uses media and culture to control people's minds. In modern times, this has only become more relevant. The constant stream of information we're exposed to from news outlets, social media, movies, and television shapes how we see the world and what we believe is possible. Hill points out that much of the media is designed to capture your attention and keep you engaged, often by focusing on fear, drama, and conflict. The more time you spend consuming negative or shallow content, the more distracted and disempowered you become. The devil thrives on this distraction because it keeps people from focusing on their own lives and goals. In the age of smartphones, social media, and 24/7 news cycles, it's easier than ever to get caught up in this cycle of distraction. Hill's message here is simple. Be mindful of what you consume. If you're constantly feeding your mind with negativity, drama, or superficial content, it will affect your mindset and your ability to focus on what truly matters. Taking control of your environment. Hill offers a solution to the devil's manipulation of the environment. Take control of your surroundings. This doesn't mean you can change everything about your environment overnight, but it does mean becoming intentional about the influences you allow into your life. 1. Audit your relationships. Take a close look at the people you spend the most time with. Are they supportive of your goals and growth, or do they bring negativity and doubt into your life? Start surrounding yourself with people who inspire and challenge you to be your best. This might mean distancing yourself from toxic relationships, even if it's difficult. 2. Curate your media consumption. Be mindful of the information you're taking in every day. Limit your exposure to negative news, social media distractions, and content that doesn't support your growth. Instead, focus on consuming media that uplifts you, teaches you something new, or inspires you to take action. 3. Create a positive physical environment. Your physical surroundings also play a role in your success. Whether it's your workspace, home, or general atmosphere, make sure your environment is conducive to focus and productivity. Organize your space in a way that makes it easier to concentrate and eliminates distractions. 4. Seek out role models and mentors. One of the most powerful ways to counteract the devil's influence is by finding positive role models and mentors who have already achieved what you want to achieve. These people can serve as guides, offering advice and inspiration when you need it most. Surrounding yourself with people who embody the qualities you aspire to can dramatically shift your mindset and actions. The devil's weakness in a positive environment. The devil admits that his influence weakens when people are in positive environments. This is because positive influences help strengthen your resolve, build your confidence, and keep you focused on your definite purpose. When your environment supports your growth, the devil's tools, fear, doubt, procrastination, lose their power. You become harder to manipulate because you're surrounded by people, media, and spaces that uplift and inspire you. Your environment has a profound impact on your thoughts, actions, and success. The devil uses negative influences, whether through toxic relationships, media, or distractions, to keep you from achieving your goals. By taking control of your environment and surrounding yourself with positive, supportive influences, you can outwit the devil and stay focused on your definite purpose. Your surroundings should fuel your growth, not hold you back. As we come to the conclusion of Outwitting the Devil, it's clear that Napoleon Hill's message goes beyond simple success strategies. The book is a deep exploration of the forces that shape our lives, both the internal struggles within our own minds and the external influences in our environments. At its core, the conversation between Hill and the devil reveals that the biggest obstacles we face in life are fear, indecision, lack of purpose, and drifting. These are the tools the devil uses to control us, but Hill also shows us how to break free. Throughout the book, the devil confesses that he is powerless against people who have clarity, discipline, and purpose. Hill's goal is to help us understand that while the devil may represent external forces, the real battle takes place within our own minds. It's a battle between fear and courage, procrastination and action, doubt and belief. If we can master our own minds, develop self-discipline, and surround ourselves with positive influences, we can outwit the devil and take control of our lives. Let's recap some of the most powerful lessons from the book and reflect on how you can apply them to your life. 1. Fear is the devil's greatest weapon. Fear paralyzes us and keeps us from moving forward. Whether it's the fear of failure, the fear of criticism, or the fear of the unknown, these are the tools the devil uses to keep us from reaching our full potential. But as Hill shows us, fear only has power if we allow it to. By recognizing fear for what it is, an illusion designed to hold us back, we can push through it and take action toward our goals. 2. Drifting is a silent killer of dreams. Drifting is one of the most dangerous habits because it happens without us realizing it. It's the state of living without purpose, without direction, and letting life happen to us instead of taking control. Drifting makes us vulnerable to the devil's influence because we become reactive, living day to day without a clear goal. The antidote to drifting is having a definite purpose, a clear, focused vision of what you want to achieve in life. With a definite purpose, you're less likely to be swayed by distractions or fear. 3. Self-discipline is the foundation of success. Without discipline, even the best plans will fail. Discipline is what keeps you on track when motivation fades, when challenges arise, and when fear creeps in. It's the ability to control your thoughts, actions, and emotions in pursuit of your goals. The devil admits that self-disciplined individuals are nearly impossible to manipulate because they have the mental strength to stay focused, even when things get tough. 4. Persistence is the key to overcoming failure. Failure is inevitable, but it doesn't have to be final. Hill emphasizes that the real test is how we respond to failure. The devil uses failure to plant seeds of doubt and fear, hoping we'll give up on our dreams. But those who persist, who keep going despite setbacks, are the ones who ultimately succeed. Persistence is the ability to learn from failure, adapt, and try again with even more determination. 5. Your environment shapes your success. One of the devil's most subtle strategies is using your environment to influence your thoughts and actions. Whether it's through negative relationships, toxic media, or distractions, your environment can either support or sabotage your success. Hill encourages us to take control of our surroundings, surrounding ourselves with positive influences, people who lift us up, media that inspires us, and spaces that promote focus and productivity. 6. The battle is in your mind. Ultimately, the devil's primary battleground is your mind. If you don't control your thoughts, the devil will. Mastering your mindset is the most important step in achieving success. This means being intentional about what you focus on, replacing negative thoughts with positive, goal-oriented ones, and building a strong belief in your ability to succeed. The devil cannot control a mind that is disciplined, focused, and filled with purpose. At its heart, outwitting the devil is a call to action. It's a reminder that we all have the power to take control of our lives, but we must be vigilant about the forces, both internal and external, that try to pull us off course. The devil represents every negative influence that tries to hold us back, but Hill's message is clear. These forces only have power if we give it to them. By developing self-discipline, cultivating persistence, surrounding ourselves with positive influences, and staying focused on a clear purpose, we can outwit the devil and create the life we truly want. Hill's insights are timeless, offering us a blueprint for success that applies as much today as it did when he wrote the book. As we've explored in this summary of Outwitting the Devil, Napoleon Hill's insights are just as relevant today as they were when he first wrote them. Fear, doubt, and drifting are forces we all face, but they don't have to control us. You now have the tools to outwit these negative influences and take control of your own mind, your own environment, and your own future. Remember, the key to success is mastering your mindset, staying disciplined, and never giving up. So, what steps will you take today to start outwitting your own personal devil? Thank you for joining us in this exploration. And if you found value in this summary, make sure to subscribe for more transformative audiobook summaries that can help you unlock your potential.